Hello and welcome to the Puck Drops Here podcast. I'm your host, John Crawford, along with my brother, Howie. Here for episode number 5 of season 3. Howie, you know, we are like 71 episodes in since we started this.
Wow. I still can't believe it's been, well, actually 2.5 seasons, but yeah, 3.
Well, we're in season 3. We started in the playoffs.
Yeah, so it's like 2.5. But still, it doesn't seem that long ago.
71 episodes. This is our 71st episode. Pretty cool.
3 seasons, 3 studios I've been in.
There you go. You doing all right? Is everything going well in your new studio?
Yeah, I'm just waiting to hear about a new job right now, but I haven't heard anything yet.
Oh, how'd that interview go? Did that go good?
I never know how those things go. I can't say.
That was that panel interview you.
Yeah.
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 I know. I don't like doing them either.
I'm a horrible judge at how interviews go.
Yeah. Anyway, and the dogs are doing well, and our producers working days now.
Yeah, he's working days now.
Yeah. And now he's digging holes, and you're protecting them.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so some hockey news, and some of the biggest news is the hockey season is here. Preseason has started.
That it has.
It has, and then the Kings are 2-0. I will have you know.
1-1.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's preseason, and that's what it's all about: is getting ready for the real thing.
I mean, all your starters don't actually start anyway.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I don't care.
But it's just good to see it back on TV again.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy to see it. So yeah, and like I think NHL Network's like showing like just preseason games constantly, so it's kind of cool.
Well, I don't have cable anymore, so I can't see that. I have to wait for NHL.com to start showing games.
Right. So the other little piece of news I had was this whole Patrick Kane thing, and I guess he had gone into camp, you know, and I guess it kind of puts the NHL in a bind, and you know they're going to lose no matter which way they go with it.
Right. Yeah.
So
the last I heard on him, I guess the rape kit was tampered with or something.
Yeah. So if the NHL lets him stay, what he's play and do his thing in camp and whatnot, then they're gonna get ridden for being,
tolerant.
Being tolerant and not taking it seriously and yada yada.
Right.
But then if they do suspend him, then they're going to be looked at as, hey, he hasn't done anything wrong. He hasn't been committed for a crime. He hasn't,
Right. You're presuming guilty before he's
right. Before he
proven innocent.
Right.
It's backwards.
So they're going to lose no matter which way they go with it.
Right.
I don't know. What side of the fence are you on?
To me, he should be able to play until it goes to court.
And I agree. So we'll see. I think this is going to, but the longer this goes on, the worse I think it's going to be for the team.
And that's one reason why I put Chicago in 5th. If it does drag on, it's going to get into the locker room and affect them in there.
Right. So, yeah. And then I think that was all I really had. I meant to go through injuries list, but I know what's his name from the Canucks, Higgins, fractured his foot. I haven't looked at the little list to see who's on it right now, but maybe in our next show we'll have something.
Right.
And start going through that stuff. But right now, I think we are going to reveal our picks for the playoffs and the Stanley Cup.
That is correct.
Now we have already revealed all our division winners and those top teams, but we did not reveal our wild card teams.
Correct.
So I guess we'll start with that, right? Is that how we're going to do that?
Yeah, that's fine.
So I guess I'll go. So in the West, or let's start with the East because that's what we've always done.
Yeah.
In the East.
So just name your number one wild card and your number two wild card.
Okay, so my number one wild card in the East is Columbus. And my number two is New York Islanders.
My number one on the East was I'm thinking backwards, yeah. So so number 7 overall. So yeah, number one.
Right.
My number one was Pittsburgh with Columbus number 2.
Okay. And in the West, we'll get there. My number one was Chicago, was my number one wildcard team. And my number 2 wildcard team was Dallas.
My number 1 was Nashville with Chicago being number 2.
Okay. So now, do you want to do who plays who at this point for our picks, or do you want to just pick?
Well, just go ahead, do your first round, your first round matchups.
Okay, and the winner of that matchup. Should we pick the matchup and then the winner of the matchup?
Yeah, we could do that.
I mean, does that make sense to do?
Yeah.
So I have my...
So everyone at home, have your pen and pencils out to follow along.
Right, because this is going to get messy. I tried to make the... I may have some mistakes in here. So I have Anaheim...
So, no, start on the East.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, so I have the Rangers playing the Islanders, which were my number 2 wild card team. I think that's correct, right? My number New York Rangers, number 1 in the Metro Division, playing the New York Islanders wild card.
Yeah, because they would be number 8 overall.
Right. And I have the Rangers winning that. I have Tampa Bay playing Columbus, and Tampa Bay winning that series.
Okay.
I have Montreal playing Detroit, and Montreal winning that series.
That'd be a good first round matchup. Actually,
Yeah, it would be a really good one. very evenly matched. And so is this next one. I have Washington playing Pittsburgh, and Washington winning that matchup. Now, do you want me to go all the way, or do you want to just stop right there and now you do yours?
I could do my East picks.
Okay.
So my first round East matchups, I have number overall would be the Rangers.
Yep.
I have playing Columbus.
Okay.
With the Rangers winning.
Gotcha.
And then the other series within that division, in the Metropolitan Division, would be Washington playing the Islanders with Washington winning.
Okay.
I then have Montreal playing the number 1 wild card seed, or number 7 overall. And Montreal winning that series.
Oh, wait.
So Montreal play Pittsburgh on Monday.
I gotcha. Okay.
And Montreal winning.
Gotcha.
Tampa Bay would play Detroit with Tampa Bay winning.
That's a good series, too. Okay.
So now we'll go to the West, and then I'll do my first rounds.
Okay, in the West, I have Anaheim playing Dallas and Anaheim winning. I have St. Louis playing Chicago, which will be a really good series.
Mm-hmm.
And St. Louis winning. I have Calgary and LA, and LA winning the series.
Okay.
And Nashville and Minnesota winning the series.
Okay.
Did that one make sense? I think it did.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my West matchup, starting in the Central,
Yeah.
I have... Hey. I have...
They're just getting excited. The hockey season is here.
Yeah. I have Minnesota playing the number 1 wild card.
Yeah.
Which will be Nashville.
Okay.
Hang on.
All right, so your number 1... So Minnesota playing Nashville, which is your wild card 1. Okay. Your next one?
Minnesota playing Nashville.
Right.
And I got to be a homer, so I'm going to take Minnesota winning that series.
Okay.
Then have the other divisional game being St. Louis playing Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And I will take Dallas winning that series with, once again, St. Louis being ousted in round 1.
Wow. Dallas beating out Minnesota. Or St. Louis. That's huge. That's huge.
Dallas beating out St. Louis.
Okay.
St. Louis again will choke.
Okay.
In the Pacific, I have Anaheim playing the number 8 overall, or the number 2 wild card Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And Anaheim winning that. So we both have Chicago going out first round.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure do.
And then I have LA playing Calgary with LA winning that series.
Wow, the Dallas one really floors me. That's huge, but very interesting. Okay. So where are we at? We are now, I have
The round 2.
round 2. So after all that mess, I have the Rangers ending up playing Washington and beating them and moving on to the conference final. And I have Tampa Bay and Montreal, which was a really hard one for me to pick. But I picked Montreal moving on and going into the conference final. with the Rangers.
Okay. So mine, I too have Montreal playing Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Oh no, you had who'd you have? Montreal playing
Tampa Bay and Montreal
Bay.
winning. Yeah.
Yeah, and I concur. I too have Montreal going to the conference final.
Okay.
On the other side, I have the Rangers playing Washington.
Yeah. Same
But I
same
have
as I.
Washington. Yeah, I have Washington winning that series.
Wow, another big upset. Wow. Okay. Over in the West, I have Anaheim, LA. And I believe Anaheim will choke once again, and LA will win that. I have St. Louis and Minnesota, and this is where St. Louis will fall, and Minnesota will move on to the conference finals with LA.
My conference final or my divisional finals.
Yeah.
I too have Anaheim and LA.
Yep.
With LA coming out on top of that series also. Then I have Minnesota playing Dallas, which down to this, it's going to be a really ugly series.
Okay.
This is going to be like huge back home, back in Minnesota with the series going against Dallas.
Oh yeah.
It'll be huge.
Yep. Former Stars and Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have Minnesota winning that series.
Wow. We both end up with an LA Minnesota.
My conference final. Yeah, my conference finals for the East, I have Montreal playing Washington.
Yeah.
LA playing Minnesota.
Okay. Okay, so my conference final, which is New York, Montreal, I have the Strangers winning and moving on to the Stanley Cup. In the West, I have LA, Minnesota. I have LA reaching the Stanley Cup once again.
So Rangers and Kings.
The Rangers and Kings.
I have Montreal playing Washington.
Yep.
I have Washington moving on.
Wow. Okay.
And going into the Stanley Cup.
Wow.
And they will, in turn, play between LA and Minnesota.
I know who you're
Again, I'm going to play the homer.
All right. You're going to take Minnesota.
I'm going with Minnesota.
Okay. Washington, Minnesota, LA, New York Rangers. In the East, I have the New York Rangers and Montreal. Now we're in the Stanley Cup.
Now.
I have the Rangers and Kings. This was really, really, really tough. And this series is going to come down to who's left that's healthy.
Yeah.
If the Rangers are healthy, they will win the Stanley Cup.
Wow.
It may be in 7 games. But if the Rangers are healthy, they'll win the Stanley Cup.
I have Minnesota, Washington. I think that Minnesota should have a year where it'll be somewhat similar to what it was last year, where they fairly dominated the East. And I will go with Minnesota winning and hoisting their first ever Stanley Cup championship.
Okay. Congrats.
And it will go 7 games.
Yeah. Now mine can be different. If my Kings are hot, they can lift the cup once again.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
But
if
I don't
Minnesota
know.
can't stay healthy, Vegas will win it all.
Right. But if you look at how I have the Kings, their road to the Stanley Cup, it's really, really tough. They've got to get through Anaheim first.
That's going to be that would be the biggest hurdle. Is going to be Anaheim.
Right. And
even if Chicago were to win that series, well, who do you have? Anaheim? You had Anaheim playing Dallas, right?
I had Anaheim playing Dallas. Now Dallas can beat them up. Dallas can beat them up, and that's if Anaheim gets beat up by Dallas, yet Anaheim wins it, and the Kings can beat Anaheim after getting beat up by Dallas. That's how I think they're going to get there. But if Anaheim is healthy, I mean they've got so much talent that could be where the Kings fall.
Yeah, either way, that second round, LA on my side would be tough because they're going to have to either be just to get the conference final. They're going to have to be either Anaheim or Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah, on your side, yeah.
Yeah, on my side.
Yeah. Yeah. And they got to get past Calgary. You have them going against Calgary. But Calgary could be good. I mean, they could be really good. Yeah. Well, we'll see. So that's it. That is our picks. Let's see how close we are this year.
I know I picked Minnesota last year too. I don't remember who I had them going in there again. I think it was Montreal.
I have to look. I still have all those from last year.
I had Minnesota Montreal last year, I think. I don't remember.
But I think it's going to be tough. I think there's just, especially the West, has got so much talent. And
I wouldn't be surprised if it got every one of those series games.
Yeah.
I don't see a sweep in any of those series at all.
No, I don't see any sweeps in there. Now let me look at my East. I don't really see any sweeps there either, unless for some reason Washington sweeps Pittsburgh. That's the closest I can come.
Yeah, my only sweep I would see on mine would be the Rangers and over Columbus.
Or Tampa Bay sweeping Columbus. But, gosh, I don't know. Both those teams are... I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna post these on our website. I think I might have to reference you again after the show to make sure I got your notes down right.
Okay.
And I'll try to set this up in a way on our website that maybe everybody can understand. And we'll go from there.
All right.
So... yeah, so with that, Howie, I think we will wrap it up here. Do you have anything else to add today? As far as your picks or anything like that? Well, thank you all for listening. I hope you were able to follow along. If you just when I get them posted, just go out to our website, www.thepuckdropshere.com, and you should find our picks out there. I'll try to have them out there today sometime. And
send us your picks.
Send us your picks. You still can vote out on our website. And I'll probably have a poll, one more poll out there for at least the Stanley Cup. I don't know how I'm going to set that up, Howie. But
just maybe just list all the teams and just have them vote who gets to pick.
Yeah, I guess. So.
Who will win the cup for this year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something like that. Send us an email at Jon and Howie at thepuckdropshere.com. Send us a tweet. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, of course, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and now Hockey Talk Radio. If you go to hockeytalkradio.us, you will find the Puck Drops Here you will find the Puck Drops Here on the podcast. And we will see you next week. Enjoy the games this weekend because we have a lot of preseason hockey going on. And we will catch you all next week. So we bid you all adieu.
Farewell to all. Farewell.